playful with the winky face. Grand Rising, Gregorian Rising, because it's January 1st. January 1st means precisely dick. Because really, this particular time, when you look at like, a week past Christmas is what you're effectively looking at with the 31st. There's nothing significant that any of our ancestors celebrated on this day, right? This day functions, to offset the calendar system, which, the monthly aspect of the calendar system does not work with a solar tracking system, right? Your equinoxes and your solstices are the only things that work with a solar-based system, and so that always works. They always make sure that you've got this particular day in the Gregorian that is both a day that which is determined that the sun enters a new zodiac sign in particular, and that also that those are the longest days of the year, shortest days of the year, and the balanced days of the year, right? It's like Libra and Aries, even Aries are equation balancers. The equinoxes occur via us. Your equinox, your spring equinox, is going to be, about March 20th, 20th, 21st, or whatever, and then you're going to have your fall equinox like September or something like that, right? September 21st, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. Right, and then that's when you herald into Aries, herald into Libra. And both of those signs do have, I guess, a symmetry to them when you think about the way that they are. Where Aries has the two symmetrical horns sprouting out, right? And it is a sprout. It's a sprouting symbol, right? It's just like, it's two horns, but what is it also? It's two, like, plants popping up out of the ground. It could be two rabbits poking their heads up out of holes, right? It's this emergence in pairs, which also makes me think about flood myth and the emergence after flood, too. So today, because I'm very much enjoying milking my gym membership for all it's worth, I did a run at the beach yesterday, and I don't want to run at the beach again right now. I'm feeling a little irkily. I'm probably just surrendering to the acceptance that I don't have to do all this shit in the cold anyway. And so I'm going to work on my cardio with what's available at the gym. But I'll get myself to the beach before it gets too warm. Because I did it yesterday. But I had to cut it short, though. had to cut it short, but I was trading that in for hot yoga. So I got a good calorie burn regardless. So I'm going to see if the memes are true. Oh, the gym on New Year's Day. You know, because everybody, like, 99% of the time, people have been programmed with weight loss as their New Year's resolution. And it's the highest level of absurdity to look at how our culture turns out despite all that. You know, in fact, I think it was basically kind of a campaign that was going on for like 20, 30 years or something like that, when we all were naive little children watching television. And you rarely heard about people in your life who went and did it. Right? And I think a lot of people, they're so in need of certain kinds of attention that, or a certain kind of being seen under the collective approval. It's just like, what's the trend of my New Year's resolution, right? Because especially with like ladies, it's like, oh, you know, well, it's New Year's resolution, right? And the only thing anybody ever can think of is fat loss, and it's the one thing that seems like most people are not doing, right? Or at least of that particular generation. There's a long ass red light. What's going on? I'm getting, okay, it's gonna change. There we go. But just because it's a Gregorian thing doesn't mean it doesn't have its little significances. I heard something. I haven't even had a chance to take a look at it yet because of my morning routine and me really wanting to do this as soon as I got behind the wheel. But I heard that there was an earthquake, a tsunami, or a tsunami warning in Japan. Like that's the new year. I wake up to Japan's in trouble, right? You know, and so. That's an interesting herald. If that line was not just somebody trolling, you know, because it was an ill omen in 2020 that I didn't take seriously because I didn't understand what was going on a more comprehensive level of the psyche of the people. Was January 1st, 2020. There was political hysteria because the figure in charge of the country had coordinated a military execution of a goal, part of their strategy for winning a war. And the media said it was something that it wasn't, because our media were the only people in the world that fucking complained about it, and our fucking culture were the only fucking people in the world that complained about it. And everybody thought that, you know, and it was like out of nowhere. Nobody told us that if you did such a thing, we would believe that we were going to start, quote, World War III. And so we believed the World War III was going to start that January. And that was the Gregorian initiation into the year. And everybody forgot that as we were shuffling through some nonsense. You know what's very interesting, right? Because it's funny how the inversions kind of work. So, what was going on in, I think it was 1998? In 1998, there's a different guy in charge of the executive in the political sphere of things. This particular guy is being tried under the actions of the impeachment of this person, because they were accused of bearing false witness in an under oath testimony in matters that seemed ludicrous, because it was nothing more than like drama with a woman, and he's a married man, and this was more important than matters of state. And then I remember that then the news cycle had a funky little shift when there was a report of an American military strike. With a target that seemed to be very, very newsworthy, involving a certain Saudi Arabian trust fund baby who was an asset of our intelligence peoples. And we struck a facility that involved that person's particular operations. And this is something that we'd never done before. And everybody made some sort of fucking crazy big ass stink about that too. 3 years later, we would understand why somebody made a crazy big fucking stink about it. Right? Very interesting that there was also an impeachment happening at the same time as a military strike during a period of time that we're crossing over into the new Gregorian marker of the year. So, you know, one could say that there's some sort of ritual perhaps that is designed to go on a week after the solstice, which usually means that there's all sorts of pre-ritual, or basically part of the ritual aspects to that solstice going on by these cults. And maybe this is a good thing, and maybe this is a bad thing. What I mean by that is that when I'm talking about these ill things that are happening, that's a bad thing. But I'm just saying there could be good things going on we don't even know about, because it's people like us that are doing it. People that just don't come out of the woodworks. I wonder how many people fighting this fight on the occult level keep their heads down, lay low about the whole darn thing. They don't speak up about me even to say thank you. They don't want anybody knowing that that we're on the same team, just because it compromises the mission, etc., etc. That's the kind of thing that, hey, what's up, Luca Cheetah, that goes through my mind about the whole matter. right? So when events like that happen, you have to be very wary about that timing, because whether you like it or not, that's synchronistic. Something like that cannot be. It's basically not allowed to be. Things like having an earthquake right on the day. You know, like these are synchronicities, not coincidences, right? There's deep levels of significance. There's meaning being extracted in real time by the merit of this thing. All right. Can I just... No, I went the right way. Right. Yes, yes. Still getting used to getting to this place without GPS. I'm getting there. All right, good. Oh, lots of stuff. Hey, look at that. I got 4 views. Grand Rising, everybody. It's a really good afternoon, I suppose, now. But I certainly feel like I'm ready for the worst. You know? Because I'm already psychically prepped for the concept that, you know, some sort of world-changing whatever happens again, where these people see things so differently that we gotta fight about it. Right? That's basically what you're dealing with. It's that level of, we're probably gonna have to fucking fight about this, aren't we? There's too much going on, and we don't have time to be friends. And our altruism has to be showing, and I just can't, at the very least, I just can't socially deal with you, even though none of us are doing anything to directly interfere and change the outcome of things that we wish were not. And all this redonkulous way of looking at the world, with the war provocations and the diseases on the rise and everything else, and they just want everybody to break down and have their network moment of being mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore. And oh, believe me, you should have your network breakdown moment to say, I'm as mad as hell, I'm not going to take it anymore. Everybody needs that fucking liberation for their nervous system. For it. They've got their snake coiled tightly around avoidance. And avoidance wants to struggle. Wants to struggle to break out of this coil so it can confront you. And that's when you become mad as hell and you don't want to take it anymore. And then you find out that the thing you were avoiding was actually not the real problem, but it was bringing the problem to you because it was trying to help you overcome the problem. It wasn't the problem itself, but it had to demonstrate the problem. And that's what we're actually avoiding, and why we're actually struggling this way. So I want this year to kick a lot more ass. I'm hopefully going to have a bunch of things financially straightened out before the spring. And with those things financially straightened out, I then can breathe again, and build. And I want 2024 to be the year that I get on the ground with music again. I really want it to be. So I'm going to be thinking a lot in those terms. It's going to mean thinking again in terms of spending time in New York, so on and so forth. Or whatever I got to do. It doesn't have to be New York, but the odds of my music trending in this state is nil, and I really want to leave. Anyway, I'm gonna go get myself prepped to blast. I'll catch you later.